Hey everyone, I'm Army Gaming. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Comparison Series Episode 8. And today we're going to be comparing Ouros with Igursus. This was by far the most requested pair, and that's odd because normally we always compare monsters that are in the same elements or we're going to start comparing monsters that are in the same book. And these two monsters, they don't really have anything in common. You know, Ouros is Earth and he's in a book, Igursus isn't in a book and he's fire-based, so it's very rare that these monsters will actually face each other. However, that being said, what they do have in common is that they are both really strong tanky monsters, they both have the mountain trait, and they are actually brothers. If you just take a look at Igursus' description, from the cold and snowy north face, Ouros was born. From the south face, this hot and mighty volcano called Igursus stood up and started walking. So Pandov created both of these monsters, therefore they are brothers. So maybe in the future, these two monsters will be placed in the family book, and then you can actually pit them up one against another. So before we do that, I want everyone to know, well, first of all, welcome to the live stream again. And second, if you want to be a part of the discussion, if you want to talk on the live stream and give your opinion on who do you think is better, you have to join the Discord. That is the only way I can take calls. If you want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description. And also, there is also a link to the poll. I have this poll that we're going to see at the start of the video and at the end of the video. So right now, let me refresh it and let me bring it up. Right now, it's just a poll saying who's better, Igursus or Ouros. Right now, Igursus is in the lead with 5 votes and Ouros has 3 votes. So we're going to come back at the end of the stream and see who's winning. This is just so everyone can participate. Maybe you're shy, maybe you just can't call right now on the live stream, but if you still want to be a part of the stream and you still want to give your opinion, make sure to vote on strawpoll.me. There's a link in the description. Make sure to vote, so we'll see at the end who the true victor is, but we're also going to see what everyone has to say on the live stream. And because I promised you guys that we would talk about who the best Monster Legends is this stream, so for those of you that aren't aware, I think on, I want to say Wednesday, it might have been Tuesday, a few days ago, I did a live stream having a discussion on who is the best monster, and I made a poll also of all the monsters that everyone listed. So these are all the monsters that everyone listed. This isn't every Monster Legends, so if you're like, where's Zyla, where's a certain really good monster, sorry, this is just what was listed. And so starting from the bottom up, you guys already saw who was in first place, but just so you can get an idea of everyone, check it out. Frostbite took the lead with 26 votes. That is more than the next 3 monsters, Voltic, Tamiron, and Haxor. Voltic took 9 votes, Tamiron took 8 votes, Haxor took 7 votes, General Thedes 6 votes, Alex Bone, surprisingly since he's a new monster, took 5 votes, Barbatos 4 votes. So yeah, it's a pretty good. I think it's Frostbite. Like, people just have to say that Frostbite is the best. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into the actual discussion. And I'm gonna join Discord right now. I'm gonna start pulling callers and we'll get into this. So give me 1 second, and remember to vote for Igursus or Ouros. All right, I'm gonna start with, oh, and if you guys can, I'm gonna pull you up. If you want to, just say your name, say who you are, and then start giving your opinion. Every once in a while, I'll interject just to maybe give a counter argument, to play devil's advocate. Right here, it's really all about you guys. I want you guys to give your opinion, state your facts, state your claim. Hopefully, you can defend your argument, and yeah, we'll go from there. Hello, hello. And actually, there's always awkwardness in live streams. One thing I'm going to start doing probably in the next episode is we're going to start screening the calls to make sure everyone is ready. That way when I pull you up, it's not just awkwardness. So if you're on Discord and you already join, if you join the channel that says join here to be on the stream, make sure your mic is working, make sure everything is okay. You can test it by going on general and talking with other people. So make sure your mic is working, make sure other people can hear you, make sure you're not muted, and let's try again. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good too. So what is your opinion on Igursus and Ouros? Who is the best, or who is better?
For me, I find Ouros better on both attack and defense, because while Igursus has more life and more damage, I think that people are forgetting that both of them are meant to be tanks, and that's their job. And Igursus, while he is a tank, he doesn't have that much tanky things as Ouros, because Ouros, while he doesn't have a big shield, he can still apply a small shield. He can return 100% of incoming damage, which for me is better than Mirror, because with Mirror, if you use a water attack on an Igursus, then the Igursus will do the water attack on the water legend, which won't do much. I feel like the fact that he can double his damage and he can get regeneration makes Ouros better.
Yeah, that's a good point. The one difference they have in terms of reflection is that Ouros reflects 100% of all incoming damage, like everything, whereas Igursus, that's more of a mirror, so it reflects whatever attack gets thrown at him.
Yeah, but one thing I can say is, in terms of specials, I'd say that Igursus is better because whilst 50% is kind of high for the whole enemy team dying, or at least one of them, I feel like Igursus is better because it can not only burn the enemy, it can also quicksand them, and because it's special damage, then that might be enough to take out the enemy. But once again, I feel like Ouros, he might at least be able to kill one enemy because it's 50% chance.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about Ouros.
Can you speak a little more about in terms of offense? You still said Ouros is better, right, for offensive purposes?
Yeah, I said for offense because whiners, once again, they're meant to be tanks. They're meant to be stalling the enemy. So
you really wouldn't rune these for like to be attackers, right? Like they do have a high power, which is surprising, no. But you really wouldn't go for attack. You just want them as tanks.
Yeah, I'd use them as tanks because as Igursus, he could be an attacker. There are better attackers like Barbatos and that, and also Ouros is actually in a book, which Igursus isn't.
Yeah, that's true. So there's an advantage there.
So that's pretty much what I want to say.
All right, awesome. Thank you for being on.
Okay then, thanks. Bye.
Alright, so we have the first vote for Ouros, who's better both on offense and on defense, and the main reason Ouros is better, well, one, he's in a book, so right now he has that advantage going for him, but also, these two monsters, they're meant to be tanks. Sure, they have a high power, sure, they can deal some nice damage, but they're meant to be tanks, so the monster that fits the purpose best is Ouros. So that was according to General Waffle. Let's keep on bringing more people, let's see what they have to say, and I only see 3 people waiting, so keep in mind that these streams go as long as there's people willing to talk. So if you want to be a part of the discussion and you want to give your opinion on these two monsters, and I imagine there's a lot of people because this was by far the most requested pair. So let's see what more people have to say. Join the Discord. And eSonic, you are on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Go for it.
So what I think is better between Igursus and Ouros would be, I would go with Ouros, because first off, I have him. But that's just from experience. But I do have the wiki up on my Google Chrome, so let me go to there real quick.
Alright, let me know when it's up.
Okay, it's up.
Alright, go for it. So why Ouros? Defend him.
Ouros, he's just a really good tank. According to, when you use Everest, it gives him double life, it gives him protection, and it's just, Everest is just a good skill. Plus his 100% damage return is also really good on offense.
And do you have anything to say about Igursus?
He's a good attacker.
How about for defense?
Also, I have the stream on. Also, I have the stream on in the background, so maybe you can just ignore that. Just looking at his skills real quick. Basically, he does have other skills like Tail Day, which I don't have Igursus, but he's pretty good damage dealer, but not as big in damage as other damage dealers for fire.
So you really wouldn't use Igursus as a damage dealer because there's better alternatives, right?
Yep.
Oh, that makes sense. Anything else you want to say between Igursus and Ouros?
In terms of special skills, I think the Ouros special skill is the best between the two because first off, Igursus only does massive damage and won't kill unless you put enough damage runes. But Ouros, you can just insta kill. But it's only a 50%.
It's only a 50, yeah. So is that a good trade-off? Like Igursus, he may not be able to kill, but he applies burning and quicksand. That's 30%. So in 2 turns, 60%. They're probably dead by the second turn. Whereas Global Stomp, it's a 50-50 on each monster.
Yeah. So I think Igursus special may be a little bit better than Ouros. But overall, I would go with Ouros mainly because he's a really good tank.
Yeah, that seems fair. So another vote for Ouros. Anything else you want to add?
I don't really think so.
All right, thanks for being on. All right, so we have a second vote for Ouros. Once again, the main reason being that Ouros is a tank. So is Igursus, but because the main purpose of these monsters is to be tanks, Ouros really does it better. It's that 100% damage return, the double life, and with Everest and protection. So let's keep on bringing more people and see what they have to say. And is the stream good? I think the stream is good. All right. All right. Hello, hello. Hello? Alright, we'll try again. Hello?
Hey,
Hello.
I say Igursus is the best monster because, well, first of all, he has better base health by about 3,000 if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, around or 2,400. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I would say Mirror is a bit better than double health because let's say someone that does big damage like knocks the condemned tries to take 75% of your life away. I've tried this before and it actually takes 75% of his life away in the reflection. And also Ouros is terrible at attack. He has K2 which is a 3-turn cooldown earth, and it's absolutely terrible. Well, I'm not sure who would want to put that on him though.
Yeah, that's true.
And Ouros' global stop, I find the 50% to be a bit deceiving because it's not really 50% like it says it is, but it usually doesn't pop on all three.
If you had to take a guess, what percentage would you say it was?
Maybe a 30.
Have you ever lost to an Ouros doing Global Stomp and it just happens to kill all of your monsters?
Yeah, I've had it once, but that was because my Noctum decided to miss his ultimate.
Okay. Oh yeah, his Noctum's his is
And
also 50, right?
Yeah, his usually pops more for me since I have both Ouros and Noctum.
Alright.
And then Igursus actually does quite a bit of damage for fire, like massive fire damage, 2-turn cooldown. That's not bad for a tank. And then, of course, Vesuvius. That's pretty decent compared to Ouros' Everest, though. I would say Igursus is better for offense, Ouros for defense, but they're both quite tanks.
Yeah. And I think the cool thing about Vesuvius is because it does have mirror, and because you have mountain, you can't be stunned, you can't be frozen. But if a monster does AoE freeze you, you'll reflect that AoE freeze or that AoE stun. So you have a chance to immobilize.
Yeah, whenever I'm facing an Ouros, I just bring along my Repti and my Barbados to glamorize the Master of Pain.
Yeah. So like instant kill.
Yep, pretty much.
So Igursus is better for offense, Ouros better for defense. But if you had to choose one of these
monsters, the overall better is Igursus.
Igursus, awesome. So you're the first vote for Igursus. Do you have anything you want to say? Any last thing you want to say?
Well, no.
All right, thanks for being on. Alright, that's great. We have our first live stream vote for Igursus. So right now it's 2 for Ouros, 1 for Igursus. I'm really curious to see how the polls going, but we'll get to that at the very end of the stream. Once again, if you want to vote and you can't talk on the live stream, there's a link to the description to the poll, and if you do want to talk on the live stream, there's a link in the description for Discord, so make sure to join. Alright, let's bring in Nickel. Hello. I think I heard you. Alright, we'll add you back in a bit. Oh, wait, no, yep. Hello? You're on live.
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Give me your thoughts.
And who's better, Ouros or Egg?
Yeah, who's better?
So, probably gonna go say Egg. His name again. Igursus, because. Okay. Can you hear me?
Very, very lightly. Can you get closer to the mic or something?
I can try.
Yeah, if possible.
Is it now better?
Yeah, I can hear you. We'll see if the stream can hear you. So just go ahead, give your opinion, and they'll let us know in like 20 seconds.
Okay, so my opinion is that Igursus. I'm gonna say this because the Ouros you can only use with as a tank, but Igursus you can use tank and the attack at the same time. So like I said, I remember when you said that in the game an attacker and if needs to put a support or anything. So that's I think advantage over the Ouros because both uses tank and attacker is a monster, so the aggro global storm because that just kill a whole enemy team. Kill a whole enemy team. I'm not gonna argue with that. But I was just supposed to be a tank. You're not supposed to be there. Unless it's the global storm, but Igursus is just a monster which I don't know. I just looked at comments and no one can hear me, I guess.
You're too loud. Yeah, the comments are you're too loud. I think it's fixed. It's gonna take like a 20-second delay.
Okay. Okay, I can see.
I think I lowered you manually, so this should be better. Alright.
Said Igursus is probably better because you can use him as attack and tank at the same time.
Alright.
Just a tank, you're not supposed to get him all strength and just kill everyone. He just there to affect all the damage.
Yeah.
And most time you want actually to kill anyone, so you don't want to have long games. So I mean advantage because he can be there as a tank if it needs to. And you can actually, still maybe two. Something like okay, but it's not right there, I just voted for Ouros basically because I think if you do look at the tank, Ouros is much better. Even that does have the second highest life, but it's still a game. But if I had to choose Ouros beating Igursus, I would probably go with because of that, he can be tank and attacker. I do like when actually monster can play at the same time. But if I actually do need to look for good tank of Ouros, it does come down to the preference. Which one do you actually want?
Yeah, it's really a preference for this.
yeah, if you want to play the game, just go there, kill everyone. Igursus is not the best option, but to actually help your team, you can pull life, strength, and the team speed range to help. Onto his strength, he can hold play, kill one of the enemies, but if you do like clone against them,
Alright, I'm gonna stop you there because I think it is getting harder to hear you, and then I'm not sure what's going on, if it's too loud or too soft. But your vote is for Igursus, right?
That's all what I just have to say. Just clear that out.
Alright.
Igursus can play as 2 characters, but Ouros can only play as 1.
Alright, I'll make sure everyone knows. So Nico's main point was that because Igursus can be used both as a tank and as an attacker, he's the superior monster of the two. Whereas Ouros, his main purpose, it's really just to be a tank. He really can't be offensive. So let's try again. Let's get someone. Let me make sure this is fixed. I don't want you guys to break your ears again. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so this should be good. Give me 1 second, everyone. Give me 1 second. And let's bring in Dib. Dib, where are you? Dib.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Alright. Ouros, Igursus, and why?
Igursus, simply because he has, you could say he has fewer things, or fewer concerns than Ouros, I should say. Mainly brownies. Mainly because he doesn't have to deal with mega stuns at the moment. His DOTs complement the fact he's really, really slow. With the thing with DOTs, obviously it's more effective the more turns the enemies get. Like, wherever is burned or wherever is DOT'd, essentially if they get more turns in, they're running essentially on a timer. There's also the thing with possession. If Ouros, like a huge part, like a lot of people love putting Ouros on defense. He's really, I would say Ouros is really more effective in terms of tanking. Ouros is more effective in tanking because you generally build life on him. Versus Igursus, where you only build, usually people like to build the extra guy build with them, because the power rune scales with it increases the damage of Igursus, and that means generally speaking he's less tankier than Ouros in terms of normal build. Now people can build whatever they want, but I think the meta build for Igursus is the extra guy build, the strength, life, and speed. Speed is just mandatory for both of them. They're just that slow.
Yeah.
So yeah, and another huge thing too was the Ouros does have the insta-death ultimate. I'm going to say for the hugest part though, there's a lot of things that keep him from doing that. Mainly, again, mega stunning, possession's a thing. They're both possession victims. If they get possessed, it's usually not a good thing. So that's why you build your comps around being protected against possession. So things like Lamuna, Vadia Noi, things that give immunity to possession and or advanced possession, what have you. With Igursus' ultimate, is it not a insta-kill chew, but it's a huge timer. Like, it sets burning, and then it sets quicksand. So essentially they lose 30% of their life that, turn. Mm-hmm. That's really heavy on the enemy's monsters. If it does a lot of damage to begin with, odds are they're dead. Yeah. But I've never liked running Ouros on. I don't even have Ouros to be true. But to be honest, if I did have Ouros and I did put him on defense, I'd only ever put him in situations where people would have to be impatient, or the key with fighting Ouros, you can't be impatient. You cannot rush Ouros, or unless you're just outspeed him to begin with, or you mega stun him. Obviously, if you shut down his kit right away. If he sets up that damage return, that's the hugest thing. You can't remove the damage return, and it returns 100% of the damage. Sometimes even more, doesn't it? Does it return way?
It's like when it has burning, or when it has any sort of DOT and you hit him, he returns that damage plus more or something. It's weird.
Yeah. That's the hugest thing about him. If he does get to set that up, that's when you cannot be impatient. But I'm gonna say if he doesn't set that up, you can by all means be impatient. You can feel free to beat him down, simply because you have that opportunity to. You don't take the damage at that point. And I'm going to say if you have healers, you can heal that damage off. Possibly. It depends. If it's the damage dealer with no life runes and he's brittle, then odds are you're going to blow up before you can recover that with life regen. I'm just saying. Yeah. But yeah, And to this very day, whenever I whenever I'm fighting Ouros personally, I always have Brawnies who doesn't have Brawnies, you know?
Yeah.
Who doesn't have
that's
the
a really
Mega
good point.
Stun.
Like in the current meta, just because Ouros is Earth, and it's so easy to counter him, especially since he's so slow. Whereas Igursus doesn't really have that counter right now.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah, in all honesty, there's only like stunners and fire, right?
Yeah.
Just like single target stuns. Yeah, there's no real AoE possessors fire monster yet, is there?
No.
I'm gonna say Igursus does. I'm gonna say Igursus has a problem tanking. Just in terms of tanking damage, if you were to put the life runes on it, if you put 2 lives on it, Igursus actually has more difficult time tanking. Again, like if they ran the same build, he has to deal with things like Shalinar, and we just got another monster that applies the fire weakness, like Tool Gaju.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 80% more damage to fire damage. Oh, dude, it just melts tanks.
Yeah, they're way more vulnerable. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of vulnerability, yeah. But I'm just in terms of just like being bullied, just in terms of control bullying right now, Igursus is in a really, really nice spot. Just simply because he doesn't have to deal with Brawny's shenanigans.
Yeah.
If you ask like any competitive player, hey, do you have Brawnies? The odds are they'll say yes, because he can do Mega Stunning. We love Mega Stunning. In fact, at one point, a lot of people were concerned that they were going to buff the Mountain trait to make you immune to Mega Stun.
Yeah, it was all. Anything immune to stun, they were talking about buffing it.
Yeah, that would be interesting. How would you feel on that? Like if they bumped up the immunity to advanced immunity?
I don't know. It would make certain monsters useless, like Bronze's like Monkey, the light monster that has Mega Stun. It would they'd be kind of useless. So I think it should stay the way it is. Yeah. But my point, Igursus, again, for just like my overall reason why I'm picking Igursus, is DOT combos well with just how slow. He has, of course, like Ouros can take advantage of his damage return too, but mainly for the most part it's just the DOT, you could say. With the problem with Ouros, like the players don't have to hit you could say too. They could just charge it out. They don't have to hit you. All they have to pray that you don't, like, Ouros doesn't get his ultimate. Yeah.
Global stun. Hashtag to this day I have yet to be global stunned. Global stuffage. I think that's I think that's the hugest reason why would you put Ouros on defense. One, he punishes impatience, and 2, he just global stomps. Like there's a chance to just meme everybody. 50% chance.
Yep.
And that could be used against you too with the possession. Again, make sure you have something that gives immunity to possession, or you're just done for.
I think on defense though, even if he gets possessed, he's not that bad off because he gives himself a shield, life regeneration, and he has 2 self skills. So I think
I do believe, but you can. There are monsters nowadays that can remove that though.
Yeah, but that's like every single monster always runs into those issues. They have a counter, but I think in terms of defense. Having those soft skills and then having the shield and the regeneration that he makes, he's not immune to possession, but he's better for taking on possession.
Oh yeah, picking on possession. Yeah, I'd say totally, totally that. Yeah,
Igursus,
2 self skills.
If Igursus gets possessed, he can like really deal some serious harm to his teammates. Yeah,
that's 2. Yeah, that's a thing too.
All right, so Igursus overall, right? That's what you're going for.
Igursus overall, just overall. If you're asking me what I'd want to use at the moment, I'd choose Igursus.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Dib.
Hey, have a good day.
You too. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, Igursus is now in the lead with 3 votes, and Dib brought some interesting points, points that haven't been discussed about in the current meta. Ouros has an obvious counter which many people have, which is Bronze's. He can Mega Stun. Considering Ouros is slow, if he gets Mega Stun, he's out of the game for 2 turns, not to mention because he is slow. By the time Ouros finally gets to move again, Bronze's might be able to Mega Stun him again, so that could render him useless, whereas Igursus, he doesn't really face that problem in the current meta. Now the thing about comparisons is there's different ways to look at him. You can look at him in the current meta, you can just compare them on what their purpose is, like whether to be tanks. You can look at them as like who's better for utility, is one more versatile, whereas Igursus is offense, defense, where Ouros is more of just defense, so different ways to think about these monsters. Let's keep on bringing in more people, see what they have to say. And let's go with Mukop.
Oh, hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Make sure to turn the stream off in the back.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. So go for it. Who is better?
I definitely say without a doubt Igursus. Or Igursus, I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's alright. Oh, the stream's still on, by the way. I can hear myself.
Sorry,
There's an echo.
my phone.
Oh, I'll talk less and then you talk more. Go for it.
Okay. So, I'd like to say about that fire corruption thing first, is that he has mirror, so that he could actually, if he went for somehow, he could reflect that. So, and damage, but also he's just overall a lot better. I mean, he could burn, and he can apply quicksand, which is extremely useful in fighting tanks. And I don't really know what to say.
Oh, no, if you just wanted to come on to cast your bow, that's fine.
And then, well, I mean, he also has a lot better speed and life, so... I mean, Ouros is definitely a better tank, no doubt, but overall, Igursus is a lot better.
Alright, cool. Alright, so that was another vote for Igursus. Somewhat better stats. Again, more versatile. He agreed that Ouros is an overall better tank. He has more tanky skills. He was mentioning that mirror, because he has mirror, he reflects the attack. So if you're facing off against a fire monster, even if it was to do like burning corruption or some sort of attack that makes you weak to fire attacks, keep in mind he can reflect that, at least for one turn, if somehow he manages to apply mirror first, and then he can pull out that reflection. But yeah, let's keep on bringing in more people, see what they have to say. There's 2 more people on, so if you guys want to keep the stream going, make sure to join the Discord. Hello?
Hello, yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Give me your thoughts.
So, well, on defense, Ouros really takes it, probably because a combination of speed and life runes Ouros is enough hard to kill and can be denied, and he can be denied only by stamina drain, which gives him a lot of opportunities to get turns. Also, I'm going to talk about Mega Stun later.
Alright.
And being vulnerable only to stamina drain gives him a lot of chance to get global stomp. And another point for Ouros is that how many earth monsters have damage over time effects. Some I can think about are Tessaday, Gargos, Deadwolf, which aren't seen a lot. Gargos and Tessaday are new, so not a lot of people have them. I haven't seen a lot of Tessadays, and people haven't had a lot of chances to get Deadwolf. So really, DLTs aren't a problem for the Earth element, but I guess most of the people run a deny on Earth. I just wanted to mention that point. As for Igursus, he is far more vulnerable in defense, and sure, he has a much higher threat than Ouros. Igursus can dish out damage, and he also has the reflect thingy that he can reflect. He can reflect denies and such stuff. Igursus is far more vulnerable against DLTs because almost all fire monsters have a burning move. And the top picks like Shaliner and Darmith, I mean Shaliner mainly, she has her burning in her neutral attack, which will deal more damage. And about the problem that Brontes can deal with Ouros since he has Mega Stun. Let's say you put Ouros on defense and you get attacked by a Brontes. The opponent's Brontes, of course, will get the first turn. But when he gets the first turn, he has to make a decision. He will either stun your deny, or he will Mega Stun Ouros, or he will Mega Stun Ouros. If he doesn't stun your deny with his AoE stun, and your deny will probably your deny will get a turn in and deny his team.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, if he does stun your deny, your Ouros has a chance to get double life, to get a shield, to get returns all damage, to get a regeneration. So it's a pretty tough decision for the Brontes player. So I guess sure it is Brontes is a hard counter for Ouros, but Ouros can get away with fighting a Brontes in some scenarios.
Yeah, I think it really depends on what kind of teamwork thing it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really situation. I see what you're saying. That is a good point. Like you have to make a decision: Mega Stun Ouros or deny the denier. Otherwise, you get denied. Good point.
Exactly. And my last thing, so on defense, Ouros is probably better than Igursus, but let's say you put Igursus on offense. Why would you put Igursus on offense? See with who Igursus is competing with. He needs to, if you want to put Igursus on offense, he needs to be better than Shalinar, he needs to be better than Greedy Dragon, he needs to be better than, Mega Ostium. And sure, I can see Igursus being picked over Darmith, but the only scenario when you would pick Igursus is against faster bases. So he can survive on alt speed. And one last thing I wanted to mention, Ouros is in the underworld book, which gives him more versatility. And meanwhile, for Igursus, he still isn't in any book. So perhaps when he gets put in a book where he can shine, and that's where you might root for Igursus being better than Ouros.
Yeah, that's a good point. Until we see what book he's in, we can't really decide whether he's that good. Yeah, really good points. Right. Really good points. Awesome.
Thank you for having me here, Armor.
Thanks for being on. Alright, so those were some really great points. At this point, I want everyone to make sure you're voting on the poll. I'm going to bring in, there's 3 more people. I normally have these streams to be an hour long, so I'm going to get these 3 people on. If anyone else wants to join, I believe there's still room for maybe a total of 5 more people. Not counting these 3, so 2 more people after these 3, if it even works, so let's keep on going. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
Give me your thoughts. Ouros, Igursus, and why?
Okay, so I don't really have too much of a preference, but I'm just gonna side with Ouros just because I don't think that many people have voted for him, right?
I say it's almost 50-50.
Okay. So I'm just gonna do Ouros anyway because it feels like more people have voted for Igursus.
All right, so
try
to defend him, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So don't get me wrong, Igursus is like definitely good, you know, especially since if you look at his design, his juvenile form, it's a freaking xenomorph, you know. That's pretty cool. But basically my main argument with Ouros is that people are arguing that Igursus is better because he's more versatile, because he can be used as both like either a tank or an attacker. But I think that, you know, you kind of have to choose one when you get to him, right? Because like you only have 3 rune slots available, so like what are you gonna put on him? Damage. If you put damage runes on him, then what about life, right? He's not gonna be staying alive that long. But then if you put life on him, you know, reflect, it's not gonna be doing that much damage if it's like reflecting, right? So you kind of have to choose one. And like another thing with reflecting is that, you know, if you get possessed and then you're reflecting, you're pretty much screwed because you're gonna be reflecting all the attacks to your teammates, right? And then another thing is that, you know, other than reflect, there's other things like blindness, damage reduction, daze. If you get hit with any of those attacks that like deal any of those, you're going to be reflecting that attack with those effects on. So like say someone hits you with a blind attack, you're going to be reflecting that attack, but then technically you're going to have blind fine too, so you're probably not going to hit the reflect.
Yeah, it's not as effective. Yeah, sure.
But then with Ouros, if you get damage return on, then pretty much, you know, that's like you're not gonna like not benefit from that, right? It's like if somebody hits you, you're still gonna reflect that damage. So yeah, that's my main argument.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Also, Mirror is only one turn, right? Like.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now. Mirror lasts one turn. I may be wrong. Maybe it's 2 turns in the game, and it could be wrong here. 3 turn cooldown. That's his only tanking. Like, I mean, he can take hits, but that's his only reflection skill. Whereas Ouros can like protection and double life, and then returns all damage. Lasts for 2 turns with only 2 turn cooldown. Yeah.
Yeah, because with the Igursus, it's like if you put damage on him, yeah, sure. If you get hit with an attack, you're gonna reflect it a lot. But you're not going to be surviving that long because you're sucking all the attacks to yourself. And then and then if you put life on, yeah, sure, you're going to survive like for a long time. But when like attackers are dealing like 20k damage on you, you're only going to be reflecting with base power, you know. Power. So you kind of have to choose with the Igursus.
There's a huge trade-off there. Give him strength, deals more damage, but he's not as tanky. Give him life, he's tanky, but he can't deal damage. Huge trade-off.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just one last thing.
Go for it.
This is kind of the most important thing I have to say. Just compare their GPMs and yeah, so pretty self-explanatory.
Get Ouros.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
All right, that was great. That was a really good one too. So yeah, Ouros versus Igursus. He started off by saying he really has no preference. They're both really good monsters. But then he gave some really great points for Ouros, even though he came in with no initial preference. And lastly, look at the GPM, 305 to 244. In a world that is dominated by how much gold you make in the money, because gold leads to being able to buy runes, at least level 1 runes, being able to get food, which is especially important. Go for Ouros. Let's continue to bring in more people. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Really good. First, I need to say I'm sorry if my English isn't too good because I'm from Germany.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
it's so far so good.
I need to say, while I was watching the stream, at first I was for Igursus. But I just looked at some of the tags, and now I need to say Ouros is much better. Because
awesome. Yeah, let me know what changed your mind. This is really interesting. I love when people change their minds.
His ultimate can be really annoying in PvP. Maybe because if you think the fight is won and he's using his ultimate, so your entire team is dying, that can be really annoying.
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere.
And we'll take like, there are many monsters. Let's take Glitch or something like that. He can give the enemy double damage and possess him, and the possession isn't this hard and strong against Ouros because he has like, he's useless with attacks that attack, so you mostly use his self spells that are not affected by the possession. And if you can play like with Singularis and his instant death spell, it's just like a one fight because you can't get past Ouros and his protection. He's boosting himself up double life. He can even get some regeneration, so it's not possible to get past him.
Yeah, he'll survive for sure. Yeah, he's really, really tanky.
But Igursus has... But Igursus has some good spells too, because like with where is it? The quicksand and the burning, but I think because he's like really slow and won't even get one hit off, because let's take like he's weak to water and many players are like playing Fetus or Frostbite, because or even Cavernfish. You're seeing those monsters really often, and they will just like beat him down before he's doing like one move.
Yeah. I mean, well, kind of, because the water monsters tend to be deny, so they're packing their regular base power, and they can't freeze you, they can't stun you, so you're kind of safe there against the water monsters, unless they stamina drain you.
Yeah, that's the point of it.
Yeah. But I mean, cabin fish, frostbite, he can do that. But yeah, it would really depend on the team you build. Because if frostbite has to choose between stamina drain, Igursus, and stamina draining someone else, then your other monster are free to attack.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, so yeah, yeah, really great points. Ouros, that possession point especially, like, you possess him, it doesn't matter. Like, he hits his team, he has base power, he'll give himself regeneration or a shield. Other than that, he has soft skills. Yeah, really great points.
Yes.
All right, thanks
And
for being
keep on doing those nice videos.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alright, so we have yet another vote for Ouros. There's 2 people left, so if you want to join, I think we might have time for a total of 4 more people. So make sure to join. I am going to bring up Terra. And then we're also going to be looking at the poll at the end of the stream, so make sure you vote. There's a link in the description. Terra, you're on. Let's hear your thoughts.
Hey, hello. How's
Hey.
it going?
Going good. What about you?
Okay, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Okay, when I start off now, I say my vote goes for Ouros. D1 game. The first of reason why I say is Ouros because mostly people see the tank in Igursus too, but you need to know that Ouros scales really good with his life. He has life regeneration that scales. A shield skill that scales with life. You can get double life that scales with his life point. He gets protection. He can reflect 100% of damage, which is also a big point. And to the bronze thing is, I would say, you need to know Ouros is in a book where he does not have to face bronies. And that's what I mean is, sure, Ouros is in a book where there are a lot of really good monsters. There's Greedy Dragon, there's there's Greedy Dragon, there's Barbatos, there's Metalhead. There are all those good monsters that actually have a good chance against Ouros, but he does not have to face bronies, which is the main point why I say Ouros takes the place then instead of Igursus.
How well do you think Ouros would face off against the Barbatos since they are in the same book?
I would say if your Ouros for some reason, I don't think it will ever happen, if your Ouros for some reason goes before Barbatos and he gets his 100% damage return, Barbatos cannot attack you. He just cannot attack Ouros. Otherwise,
I'm feeling he's just literally gonna kill himself too. But if Ouros goes first and uses that skill, then Barbatos, he just cannot attack you. Even if he goes like AoE burn with his Hellfire, he's gonna take a lot of damage.
Let me just interrupt you to say, I don't know what happened, but your voice literally changed like 2 seconds ago. That is weird. But keep on going.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's back. It's back now. What the heck? What'd you do?
No, nothing. I did nothing.
Oh, that's
okay.
So cool. Okay, that's
cool. It changed. Okay.
Yeah, it's changing.
So, yeah.
Like, go back to the stream and listen to it. It's crazy.
Okay. That's what I mean. Why I say Ouros? He's in a book where he does not have to face bronies, so he has a good usage. Sure, in an Earth War, people can just use bronies and wreck you. That because bronies is like the counter. He's like the I'm sorry. He's like the counter to Ouros.
Yeah.
It's mega stunning. But in the book that Ouros is in right now, there's no bronies. He doesn't have to face them, so you can actually use him on defense.
Yeah, that's a good point. And even though Ouros does have that counter, if you look at the fire monsters, like for Igursus, you know, they can burn them. Shalnar are super strong. They may not be able to stun them, but they can seriously deal some major damage.
Yeah, and next thing is, if you want to be safe against possession, Ouros does the job better.
Yeah.
He has 2 skills. You can actually use 3 skills that have a self buff, but 2 skills are mainly the reason you should run. He's more safe against possession, because the thing is, if you possess Igursus when he has his, I think the skill is called Vesuvius, where he gets Mirror, if you use a team and he starts to use a skill on his team, he's gonna reflect it twice.
Yeah.
His team, while Ouros, and even if you possess Ouros and if he's gonna attack your team, he's gonna deal, because Ouros is meant to be a tank.
Yeah.
Like the highest damage he can deal is, I think it's 45 damage.
Yeah.
Or 50, I think.
And like, yeah, it's 45, and he'll give himself regeneration, so that's not even that harmful.
Yeah. So even if he attacks his own team, it's going to be really low damage. Since you should only run two lives in a speed on Ouros anyway.
Yeah.
While Igursus has to run damage, which is the point why I think Ouros takes the job, does the job better just in tanking. He's like the tank in the game. Yeah. While Igursus he's sort of a hybrid between attack and tank. Like I say, he's like Ouros attacker style, but Ouros overall the original tank.
The original tank.
So yeah, I say Ouros. Hashtag Team Ouros, everybody.
Hashtag Team Ouros. All right, thank you, Tara.
As always. Bye.
Later. Alright, so that was another vote for Ouros, so I think Ouros is definitely winning now. And yeah, hashtag Team Ouros. Let me know in the chat right now. Are you Team Ouros or are you Team Igursus? I want to see what everyone says on the chat. Let me turn the chat back on. Just want to see all those hashtags right now. Alright, and then I think we have room for 2 more people, so I am going to bring up... There's only 1 person left, but if anyone else wants to join Discord and be a part of the stream, make sure to join right now and I can add you. Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
I'm good.
Awesome. All right, you may be the final caller, so make it good.
Okay, I'll make it good.
All right, go for it.
So I'm looking at both the wiki pages now, and I've been thinking, I like Igursus' ultimate better than Ouros, because I just don't want to take the chance.
It's more reliable.
I think 30% life is better than a chance of taking them out. And I think I need to ask you a question. Is Ouros Cho Oyu? I don't want to butcher that or anything.
That's fine.
Is that the same as Igursus' move, Vesuvius?
No. What Vesuvius does, it gives you mirror, which means whatever attack the enemy does against you, you reflect it. For example, if you face Timerion into the stop time, you do stop time yourself. Or if you face Shadownar and it does Flame Piercer, you do Flame Piercer back. So you reflect, if you get damage, you reflect damage based on your power. So if you have base power, it's going to be weaker than like what the Shadownar did against you. If you have a lot of strength runes and you have mirror, you're going to deal a lot of damage. Whereas Ouros, it's whatever, if it's like, if you take 10k damage, you reflect 10k damage. And it's just whatever you take, he takes. He doesn't reflect the actual skill. Just the damage.
So I think I like Igursus better because I think he's more flexible. Like he can be an attacker because he has a bunch of massive damage if you put strength runes on him, but he'll still have massive blight. But he has better life than Ouros, so I'm on Team Ouros right now.
Awesome.
And I like his Tiedi. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I say Taida, but it could be wrong.
Taida,
yeah. 70 damage, fire based, yeah, it's powerful.
And I don't like Ouros' K2. I don't think it does very much damage. But I do like his Everest.
Yeah, that skill's great.
Yeah, that's all I really have to say right now.
Alright, so Team Ouros.
Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for being on.
Having me here.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see ya.
Alright, so I think that will be the final call, and it was another vote for Ouros, having to do mostly, like, I think a lot of us agree that Igursus, he's more versatile, he can be an attacker, he can be a tank, but like, in terms of tanking, Ouros really takes it. Look like Everest, double life and protection, so like Taro was saying, this scales with his life. You give this monster a high level life rune, then he'll get, like, he's so good. He also gets protection, so attacks are reflected to him, and I think what, I don't think many people pointed out, the cooldown, 2-turn cooldown, that's great because double life and protection lasts 2 turns. your reflects all damage that also lasts 2 turns and also on the 2 turn cooldown. Your other skills that give you regeneration, which by the way scales with your life, 2 turn cooldown. Your 30% shield, yeah, it's a small shield, but 2 turn cooldown, and again that scales with your life. If you get your monster to 100k life, that's a 30k shield just on that simple attack. Whereas Igursus, he does have Mirror, so he can reflect attacks, but you know, it's a trade-off. You give him a life rune to give him if you give him a life rune, if you give him only 1 life rune and not the strength rune, then he'll survive longer, but he won't deal that much damage. If you give him a strength rune and not a life rune, I think I mixed that up. If you give him if you give him a strength rune, he's gonna be tanking all the hits, but he'll have less life, and sure he'll reflect more damage. So it's a trade-off. And according to this, Mirror only does last for 1 turn, so after that first turn, you know, you ignore him the first turn, then you can just kick his butt essentially. And it has a 3 turn cooldown, so yeah, big trade-offs, but overall, we could agree Igursus is more versatile. Ouros is, I guess, as Tara said, the original tank. But let's see what everyone has to say on the poll. So let me go back to that, and I want to see you guys do it again. Team Ouros or Team Igursus, and then I'll pull up the poll and we'll see which monster won. Because right now, according to the live stream, according to all of your people's opinions, Ouros won. Ouros had the most votes, I think by 2. So now we're gonna bring up the poll, and I just want to see the chat. Let's see what's it gonna be, Team Ouros or Team Igursus. Let's see. And by the way, there is no right answer. It really depends what you need and the kind of team war scenario. Like Dib brought up, the whole Bronzes thing. If it's an Earth War, most likely you're gonna face Bronzes. Is Ouros the best monster to put on defense? It depends on the teammates, right? Bronzes doesn't matter that much if it's a book war, because Bronzes and Ouros aren't in the same book. So you know, it really depends. It's dependent completely on each person's situation. But let's see. I'm just gonna read a few. We have Ozzy with Team Ouros. We have the One Luigi Man with Team Ouros, Thanos with Team Igursus, General Waffle Team Ouros, Trig Team Igursus, and more. The same people repeating. Yeah, you guys can see for yourself. Sapphire Team Igursus. Let's bring up Terra Team Ouros. Let's bring up the poll and see who actually won according to the people watching now. Boom! Let me refresh it to make sure it is correct. Igursus is in the lead, 64% to Ouros' 36%. There's a total of 42 votes. There's like comments. I didn't even know you can comment. Oh, Ouros has Global Stomp. Ouros has Global Stomp as a comment. Anyways, Igursus has taken 28 votes. Oh, I think someone switched their vote. Oh no, Ouros just got, oh no, there's 2 more people voting. If you guys want to change it live right now, now's the time to do it. So now it's Igursus with 28 votes, Ouros with 16 votes, so he's behind 12 votes. 12 votes. Come on guys, I'm seeing a lot of Team Ouros on the live stream, so go and vote on here. I'll post a link on the chat if you guys want to try to change it. Team both. Awesome. The Mad Gopher. Team both. Team both. Alright, let's see if we can hit 50 votes. Can we hit 50 votes? Let me refresh it. Do I need to I think it's automatic. It's still Igursus 28, Ouros 18, so Ouros is getting votes right now. Anyone else Team Ouros that wants to vote? Let's see what the people are saying in the comments. Igursus is better, it's officially proved. Go Igursus, go. Team Anton. Anton's not even in here. 47 votes. And Ouros got 1 more vote. I'm sorry to say it's not close. Igursus is winning by 9 votes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. We have 1 minute left before I'm ending the stream, so we might have to cut it there. Where Ouros, unfortunately, is not the superior one according to the majority. Again, like, it's completely oh wait, I spoke too soon. Ouros is making a leap. 22 votes. Igursus 30 votes. I don't know. We'll have to come back to this. I think when I do the next comparison episode, we can come back to this and see if anything changed. But as of right now, as of the time the stream ended, Igursus 30 votes. Ouros 23 votes, Igursus 20. Oh my god, you guys are not letting me stop. Igursus 33, Ouros 25. This might actually end up being closer, so let's see. Oh, this is awesome. I kind of want to leave it on here. I'll leave it on here until while I end the stream. So yeah, basically, thank you all for coming to the live stream. Thank you all for giving your opinions. Really great insight that some of you bring, so that's awesome. moving forward, I think we're going to try screening the calls just to make sure everything goes smoothly, and then more people have a chance to give their opinion. Also, I think maybe tomorrow or later today, I'll put out another poll of what monsters you want to see compared. So actually right now in the chat, just so I can give an idea, give me your thoughts on which 2 monsters we should compare for the next episode. Next episode will happen on Saturday as opposed to Sunday. I was just doing something yesterday, which is why I couldn't do it yesterday. So yeah, start putting it in the chat. Right now you guys are seeing it, it's 35:29, and that's gonna be it. Once again, thank you all for coming. Like always, remember to dream big and pursue your passions.